Hello and welcome to another video for Las Vegas Fans UK. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to get your bearings in Las Vegas and primarily about the hotels, where they are in relation to other hotels and where they are in relation to shopping districts, attractions, things like that. I found this map on a website called Mapaplan, which is really useful. Try and get a link out there for those who would like to look it up on their own time. There are different ones on there, so this might not be the best one for you, but I just thought this was the best one for the explanation I'm going to do today. So here we go. We'll start at the southern end of the strip. This map really only shows the hotels, so what I'll start off by saying is that south of Mandalay Bay is where the main Welcome to Las Vegas sign is, the one that people tend to stop at. A little bit further south than that is the town square, which is sort of like an open air sort of shopping district. And then if you are on the bus, you can then obviously divert off to the southern shopping outlets. So that would be what would be further south than the Four Seasons and Mandalay Bay. But we'll start here. So we've got Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur, Tropicana, Hooters, MGM Grand, New York, Monte Carlo. I would consider that group of hotels to be the south end of the strip. So, in your mind, if you're staying at one of those hotels, I would consider myself staying at the south end of the strip. As we move slightly further north, we come to Planet Hollywood, the City Center group, which is Cosmopolitan, Aria, Mandarin Oriental, and I would include in that Bally's, the Cromwell, Caesar's Palace, probably the Flamingo. Link is probably where I would say the cutoff for that middle section would be. So that would be what I would consider the middle section. So if you're staying in one of those hotels, you can imagine in your mind that you can either go south or north. They're going to be fairly equidistant. As we go a little bit further north again, we've got Harrah's, Venetian, Mirage, Treasure Island, Palazzo, Wynn, and Encore. That is what I would consider the north end of the strip. So again, if you're staying in one of those hotels, consider yourself at the north end of the strip. The south end of the strip is going to be a little bit of a further journey, but equally you've got plenty of stuff up there that you can do. You know, plenty of stuff to go and see. Anything further than the Encore, I don't personally consider on the strip, and this is why some people will end up at the Stratosphere because they are told it's on the strip, it's in Vegas, and I suppose technically that it is, but it's probably a good mile from the Stratosphere to the Encore. And bearing in mind that the Encore is not the most exciting hotel for tourism, beautiful hotel, lovely restaurants and everything, but there's not a lot to see and do there. Probably the main one that the general tourist would be looking to visit would be the Venetian. So from the Stratosphere to the Venetian, that is a long old walk. That's a long walk, and people don't normally appreciate that. Perhaps when they first book a holiday there, and that's not to say that the Stratosphere is bad or there's anything wrong with it. You just need to prepare yourself that that's the situation, and you may need to be getting buses or taxis or whatever. So it's just about being prepared really and getting your bearings. Equally, a lot of the time you'll see on websites when you're looking at five-star hotels, you quite often come across the Rio, and again, people won't realise that the Rio is probably, I would say, about half a mile to three-quarters of a mile off the strip, and it's across a busy freeway. I think it is technically possible to walk to the Rio, but it's very complicated, if not even a little bit dangerous. So again, you're looking at shuttles, normal bus transport, and things like that. So I'll talk about that in a separate video about the transport links. But it's just to give you an idea of where you may end up and what you need to bear in mind, sort of as you're moving about Vegas, really. So we talked a little bit about the different groups of hotel, talked about the Stratosphere, talked about what was at the south end and further south. So let's talk a little bit about the north end. If you follow this road here, this is Las Vegas Boulevard, so you just stay on this road here. Eventually you will come to downtown, which I'll talk about in a second. But on that road you've got Gold and Silver Porn from the History Channel, I think it's History Channel show, Porn Stars. That's on that road, and then you've got lots of the infamous wedding chapels are on that road, going up towards downtown area. So those can be nice to look at. I was always told don't travel that road walking at night time. Whether that is 100% worth mentioning. I don't really know. Certainly in the day it's quite nice, quite pleasant, but bear that in mind that it might be worth, if it's night time, getting a bus or a taxi between the Stratosphere or wherever you're staying and the downtown area. So now we can look at the downtown area here. They've handily provided us with another map there. I believe the bus stops on the corner here, just where I'm pointing the magnifying glass, and then you just walk slightly north to get to the actual Fremont Street Experience, which is obviously the covered sort of arch where they have the big light show. I think it's 7 p.m. onwards normally, and you can see all the hotels that sort of line Fremont Street. It's actually becoming a lot more popular. A lot of these hotels are being refurbished almost from the ground up. So the downtown area is really sort of it's starting to thrive, and in actuality, I do know quite a few people who prefer to stay down there now. Now that the quality of hotel room is very similar, it's certainly worth considering. So we'll zoom back out here. Hopefully that's given you an overall idea of where your hotel is going to be in relation to other hotels. As I say, just because one is next to the other does not mean that it is a couple minute walk. It could be 5 to 10 depending on how to get in and out of these different locations. If you've got to go across a road, you may have to go in one hotel, across a road, through another hotel and out. There's lots to consider, but this should give you at least a basic idea of where everything is in Vegas. So hopefully that's been of use to some of you. If you've got any questions, of course, let me know. As I say, I'll talk a little bit more about the transport links and how to get from some of these different places on another video. So hopefully I will see you then.